Hey team, welcome back to my channel. Let's write a function that uses the alter table statement. Notice I begin with a create table employee, just one column. The input to this function is JSON. So let's go ahead and execute this. Notice we're going to add 3 additional columns. And then when we say select star from employee, notice that we'll have our 4 columns. The source code for this video is available on my GitHub account. Follow all the arrows and we can walk through this together. Let's begin. Create or replace function, and this is the name of the function name, fn underscore alter underscore table. Now notice I have one parameter. That parameter name is table info and its data type is JSON. Now this function returns a varchar. So then we say as and then open dollar, close dollar, and then language PLPGSQL semicolon. So that is the basic structure of a function in PostgreSQL. Now we want to declare our variables that we'll use in this function, and we define those using the declare statement. And it looks like this. So declare, and these are the name of my variables, and these are the data types. Now to start coding, we need to say begin end, and this is where our program will live in between lines 17 and right now 21, but this end statement. As you can see in our JSON, notice it begins with curly and then we have key value. Key value. Well, this value here is an array. Array of what? Array of objects. So what we have to do is we have to pull table name and columns into variables. Let's do that. Let's now look at lines 20 and 21. So remember our variables we define here as of type JSON. So we have v table name equals the whole object, remember our input parameter, and I'm just going to be looking at table name. Now notice here that I used 2 arrows. This means we're going to extract a text value. Let's look at that JSON again. So there's the name of table name. You can see the same key name here and its value. Now when we use 1 arrow, it extracts a JSON object. So look at columns. Well, columns is this array, and then this array contains objects. So we say an array of objects. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's continue. Let's make sure that v table name and v columns actually have values. Now if they don't have values, we can't continue. We're going to raise an exception and get out of here. Now what we're going to do is one more test, and we're going to make sure that table exists. So right now I'm checking my JSON. Hey, does the JSON have a table name? Does it have some columns? Okay, that's cool. But now, does our database actually have this table so we can perform the alter table on that? So let's declare one more variable, v table exist. And then look what I did here. I'm going to use information schema.tables. And I'm going to search for that table, and then it's going to go into this v table exist. Now if that doesn't exist, we're going to raise an exception and we're out of here. So we have added our table test, our column test, make sure the table exists, and then return function complete. What I'd like to do is let's try to build this, make sure it's good, and notice it's good. And then I have a couple tests. Now my first test is somebody sent in an empty JSON object, and guess what? It says a table name required. You can see here I have a table name. Let's go do that. And notice columns are required. Then I have good JSON. Everything is good. Oh, table employees does not exist. I said employees. Let's redo that. And there you go, function complete. So far, the entire top of our program is working out perfect. Now we're going to get into the loop and start looping over all of these columns. On line 44, we say for v column def in select star from JSON array elements. So remember, JSON array elements, what does that mean? Well, if we come down here and look at this, this is our JSON object, right? But now we're working on columns, and this here is an array. So the function JSON array elements works on this part of the document. Now notice what I'm doing here. I'm just going getting the value. So you can see that this right here will return me this whole line right here, one line at a time. And you can see that I'm going to get out the column name, the data type, the size, and the precision. And then I can show you the output. Now I have sample select statements here, and we can actually run this and see what it looks like. Go to messages, And you can see that I have broken apart that document. Now on lines 56 to 63, the data type numeric, well, it has to have a size and a precision. Let's make sure that we test those, raise exceptions if the person did not define correctly. Then let me show you what happens. Notice right here on line 82, I did not provide the size and precision like I did on 83. When this executes, I get a size parameter is required. We're just making our program a little bit more safe. Now the last part of this SQL statement is the actual alter table command. So you can see here that I'm using two different placeholders, a %i and a %s. Now %i is good for table names and columns. And this will prevent SQL injections. So they'll escape out the table name and columns. %s, that's just good for any data type, and it's just a placeholder. So the %i does have some meaning to it. Now notice here that the table name goes to %i, column name %i, the data type goes to this first %s. Notice we have one more. So on that last column, notice I'm doing a case statement. Now when the data type is a char or varchar, notice that we only need the size. Now if the data type is numeric, well, I need the size and the precision. I think that makes sense. And that will build you a valid alter statement. Let's go ahead and compile this program up. Notice it's good. And now let's go look at a small script I have, and let's kind of start over. So I have a table called employee, and let's go ahead and create it with just one column. And now I'm going to add 3 columns to that table. Select that and complete. And now I can say select star from that, and I should see 4 columns. And those are the 4 columns. And there you have it, team. If you have any questions or comments about this SQL statement, please leave your comments below. And one warning, I would not let this function get in the hands of everyone. Put some rules around this so only a certain person or group of people are able to use this command. Could be dangerous, someone altering a bunch of tables. And there you have it. I'll see you back in my next video. Take care.